video is sponsored by STS Footwear. Footwear of the fans, by the fans, for the fans. Get your own Gator sneakers at stsfootwear.com and use the code GTFans for $15 off at checkout.
I like what you got out of your backcourt against Providence. What did you
Yeah.
see there from Trey and Andrew, obviously, play really well.
Yeah, our backcourt was really good in that one. It's as well as we've played offensively. Probably led by that spark that we got from those freshman guards. Just playing downhill with more confidence, more assurance of themselves. And I thought it was simply a carryover from practice. You know, we've seen that a lot with Quez. Trey had his best practices of the year in between those last couple of games, and was happy to see some work pay off for him.
He seemed to play with a lot more confidence in that game. That's one of the things you've been talking about, is that he had to get his confidence back up. And have you seen that in practice as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, he had a couple days before that game, he had probably his best practices of the year, where he was as effective as anybody on the court. And that helps you moving forward. It helps you most of the time. In your next game. I mean, if you're practicing well, it gives you a better chance to play well, when the lights are on. And so, again, was happy for him. It carried over. He's got a ways to go, of course. And overall, we were just okay yesterday. He wasn't quite as sharp. Today, we've all got to be better. He's got to be better. But certainly over the past 2 weeks, he's playing with an increased level of confidence.
When you get him going, talk about how that affects everybody around him.
First off, he's got to get himself going. I probably misspoke early in the year talking about his teammates having to get him going. We're all in it together, but all of these guys, to a certain extent, have to put stuff on themselves, right? And he's done that. He's taken the steps to get himself going. When he is going, circling back to your question, it's another guy playing with rhythm and flow, and the more guys you have doing that, playing with a high level of confidence, the better you're going to be offensively. Especially a guy who's as talented as he is offensively. So I think it improves your overall level of, again, flow, rhythm, and confidence.
Some of the neutral site games for your 7 wins are at neutral sites now. That has to, I guess, bode well against Utah State.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know how much it'll have to do with competing against those guys. They're really good team. They've done a great job there in a short period of time. Really talented, big, old, like really old, older than you realize, older than the computer numbers will tell you because of submissions. But you got a lot of respect for their program and how they execute, and transition offense, offensive glass, the way they shoot it, the way they share it. Really good passing team, good defensive team. Great opportunity for us.
They're very physical too, and coming off a game in which it seemed like a lot of touch fouls were called up in New York. Is there any kind of a mental thing when you go from a game like that where it's touch fouls called to a team playing a team that's really, really physical like this?
That's probably too much really to give these guys. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to have to adjust to the whistle, really night in and night out, regardless of who you play, where you play. Games are called, individual games are called a certain way, and players and coaches have to adjust. So we'll figure that thing out, 5 minutes into the game.
What are some things that stand out about Sam Merrill in particular?
His overall feel, toughness, experience, understanding of the game, and everything is set up by his elite ability to shoot the basketball with size and quick release. So you've got to crowd him, but then he understands how to drive it. He plays angles. He's really skilled. He's strong. got a quick first step, extremely quick thinker. I mean, he's one of the best players in college basketball. He's one of the better players we'll have to defend all year. He's got an inch, it's going in. He's a high level shooter, but also a really good player.
Mike, Justin Bean, I think he's the 5th leading rebounder in the country, and they got 7 foot, 7'2". How
Yeah.
important is it that Kerry stay on the floor instead of, because he's got the trend of getting in foul trouble now, which wasn't something that's happened.
Yeah. KJ's got to stay out of foul trouble at a higher level for us. He's got to play. He's got to manage his emotions as well as anyone on the team. He's got to improve in that area. Because everything he does is an example for our younger guys. And then obviously we need him on the court. And in a game like this where these guys they're really big, and Bean's not necessarily huge at his position, but wow, does this guy play hard. We showed clips of guys, to our guys yesterday for the first time, and our guys were wide-eyed when they saw him attack the glass. As I was, the first couple of times I saw these guys play this year. He attacks balls ferociously. He plays extremely hard. He's aggressive. He's just got a nose for the ball. And so overall, we've got to rebound by committee. Our guards got to help rebound. I thought our guards did a better job against Providence. And collectively, we got to keep KJ's got to play well, but our other bigs do as well, in addition. And we've got to hold our own on the glass against these guys, which should be a tall task.
Have you seen some frustration from Kerry, though, a little bit, just with that? Or?
Yeah. He's I think he's had some frustration fouls for whatever reason, and he knows better. When he calms a little bit, he's as mature a guy as I've ever coached. It's just in that heat of the moment, he's really competitive, and I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He's got to be as mature as he is 99% of the time. It's got to be 100% for us, for this team especially, with his supporting cast being as young and as impressionable as these freshmen are. Whatever he says and does, these young guys watch.
Where are those young guys are right now in the front court? It looked like Omar gave you 9 pretty good minutes the other night.
Yeah.
Where are they helping and taking some of that load off?
Omar's getting better. What you want with all these guys is you want this, and with freshmen sometimes you'll get this. And yesterday was one of these days for Jason Jatobo, and he can't have one of these days today. Just the gradual increase in production, offensively, defensively, understanding of what we're doing, consistency with both those freshman bigs is so important for this team and for their development. In the past 2 weeks, we've probably had the highest level of competition in practice. We talked about the guards earlier. Trey plays a really good game. Well, Andrew and Quez are making him better, and vice versa. And same thing with these bigs. Dante Bassett's helping these freshman bigs become better, and they're pushing obviously Dante to hold his own. He's fighting for minutes as well, and Gorjak wants minutes, and we've got healthy competition there. We've got to continue to just improve individually. And all these guys got to just continue to work and embrace that healthy competition and help make each other better.
You had to go small for a good portion of the first half particularly, and yet you turned in maybe as good a defensive performance as you had all year.
Yeah.
Talk about how the younger guys and the smaller guys embrace that role of having to play against bigger guys and get the job done.
Well, I think more than anything that the young guys, they want to find ways to stay on the court. And I think they're starting to understand that if you value the basketball and you defend at a really high level, you do your job on the glass to help your teammates from a rebounding standpoint. You're positive in the plus minus. We're playing better when they're on the court. they're starting to understand more that that's what helps them get minutes as opposed to how quickly I can get a shot up and how many I can score before coach takes me out. You know, it's a freshman thing. You know, and all freshmen throughout the country they're all developing. You know, all these guys are developing, and our freshmen had a pretty good 10 days or 2 weeks or what have you, and it carried over. Being undersized, you know, we've got pretty big guards. Quez has got to be a guy that plays as hard as anyone on the floor because of his size. He's got to utilize his speed and quickness, of course, and extend a little bit more so probably than our other guys. And then, you know, Keontae gives us an opportunity to play smaller because of his length and his toughness. You know, he's 6'5", but when you consider his athletic ability and length, he plays bigger than that, just like Dean does, you know, for Utah State.
I kind of while this whole time about talking about Keontae, what have you seen from him as a sophomore in terms of, I think, leadership growing in that regard and growing up with some of these other guys?
You know, he's not as vocal as some of these other guys. He's working on his consistency, and he's leading by example, more so than obviously he did as a freshman as he was trying to find his way. He's been pretty consistent, and he's had. I'm glad you bring that up. It's kind of a quiet consistency. You know, you forget that this guy's just he's a young sophomore, and he's starting to play slower offensively. He's becoming more and more versatile. He's becoming more dependable on the glass. You know, his thing is his motor. That's what we challenge him with every day, to impose his athleticism on the game at a higher level. Because I think his ceiling is really high, and I think he's still got a ways to go to be as good as he can be.